A worshiper's job is to study God the way a wife studies her husband. Yes. How many Bible chapters do you know? How many acts of God have you read? If they ask you now, tell us what triggers you in the place of worship, you will say, God is good. What have you seen? What are your revelations of God? Do you even have an altar where you call upon God to speak with you? Do you fast and pray? Do you desire a personal encounter with God? Have you ever sat down and say, I need this closure with God where I get to know Him, I koinonia with Him? Do you seek God in sincerity, in truth and in spirit? Is there a connection between you and God? Is there? Because it's not enough to say I can sing. As a worship leader, your job is to study the acts of God. So when you go on the altar, you remind the audience why they should worship, why they should fall down and bow, why they should lift their hands and worship. You remind them. Most times you talk to your audience and remind them who God is and tell them the goodness of God. Look at what happened in heaven. I think in the book of Revelation, when the angels look at God, they see another side of Him. They bow down with their face on the floor, worshiping. So that means there are many things you think about God and it triggers worship in you. So it is your work as a worship leader to look into that particular direction and you're like, okay, what side of God today am I going to x-ray? That is why I would say this categorically clear, that you should read the book of Psalms. You should. I don't mean read one chapter and one verse. Start from chapter 1 to the last chapter. Read it prayerfully with meditation so that you will see who God is from the eyes of David. Maybe you will find how God is to you. There's a story in my life that each time I think about God there, I can't recall when last I prayed for anything. God bless me, I'm going to die. I've not done that. Apart from devotion, I will pray for everybody. God bless us, God lead us. I have not. Why? Because each time I want to pray, I remember what God did for me without me asking Him. So what I do is I just start worshiping. I can talk for 2 hours just telling Him, God, yes, you did this for me. Reminding Him what He has done in my life. I have problems, I do. But those problems should not deter me from an encounter, from a relationship with God. It shouldn't block me from talking with Him. But most of us, our problem, it has blocked your mind. It has blocked your eye to the point that anytime you open your mouth, what comes out is, I need, I want, give me. Are we still babies? As a worship leader, you're not a baby anymore. You are now eating the bone, not the flesh, not milk. As a Christian, you have come up to a point where you are leading others. So mature and know that there's an age you get to. You don't ask your father for, Daddy, I want to shave. Give me a clipper. How old are you? I'm 30. All right. You see, you should be ashamed most time when you pray certain prayer points or when you sing certain ways that makes you a beggar. Because the level you get to, I don't really blame baby Christians that come and argue why they should sing some kind of songs as worship. I blame Christians who have been leading for a while and been in the choir for years and still don't understand the acts of God and how God operates. It's really embarrassing.